Hello and welcome people back to Let's Play Folklore. This time around well, finished doing some of the quests and eventually,
There we go.
yeah, need to load in, check if there haven't been anything new unlocked. Yeah, this is something we've already done. Why do they put the question marks on the thing? I don't understand, I really don't.
Uh,
Because we know what we're going to get. A whole bunch of nothing.
mm-hmm. Maybe drugs, but that'd be about it.
Also, I should mention, because I don't have it on the recording, whenever you exit this netherworld, you just end up in Gomez's next to Gomez's bed during the day. It's pretty hilarious.
Poor Gomez. He's about to get some unexpected visitors.
It's like you have the only TurboGrafx in the area.
Well,
We went to the place with the worst encoding.
I'm telling you, this game is totally canon with Phoenix Wright versus Professor Layton. Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see a three-way crossover between Folklore, Okage, and Ace Attorney now.
That would be intriguing.
I mean, Folklore and Okage they could totally do because they're both Sony.
They're both owned by Sony, exactly.
Ace Attorney would be a little bit of a hassle
More
to get, though, I
difficult.
imagine. Yeah.
Still, I guess a crossover RPG between Folklore, Wild Arms, and Okage would be possible.
Just cross over every Sony RPG.
Yes,
just do
with
it.
Legend of Dragoon.
Yeah.
Put in there.
And Arc the Lad.
Exactly.
Just every Sony RPG together in one.
They do share a lot of things together when you look at it.
Weirdly.
Oddly, yes. They all have very quirky, unusual gameplay. Music, very unfitting to most RPGs, but very fitting to their setup. And they have absolutely no idea what the other games of their genre are like.
Pretty much.
Foul birds! Bring here the accused! We foul birds at your service. We bring you this here accused.
It's human. Human. Man or woman?
Woman, it must be. Young or old? Seems to be young. A little girl.
She'll be put to death, will she not? She'll be our dinner, won't she?
Oh, you know the judge has first taste. We won't get a blasted crumb. Ahem! The birds have done their duty. Let them exit at once. This court is now in session. May this humble assembly proceed with all due fairness. Now let us review the events that have transpired. Fetch the mirror.
Behold,
Oh, wonder of
wonders, the
the mirror of judgment. Let it reveal every dirty detail of the defendant's dark deeds. It occurred
On the 4th,
of November,
in the early hours,
before sun had risen. The arraigned,
against
all morals and codes, and for her own selfish purposes, carried out a forbidden rite in order to
cross the boundary
of light,
and dark.
the most unforgivable trespass of them all.
Let us ask the defendant. Does the mirror accurately reflect the truth?
Does.
She's guilty! Guilty! She must be punished! Guilty! No room for analysis!
Silence in the court! Let us see what the defendant did once in the netherworld.
She hoodwinked
The fairy king
led the fairies
to the netherworlds!
and brought confusion and chaos
No.
to those lands.
I never intended that. I only wish to see my mother.
She did do that. What about the verdict?
Someone, please help me.
Let the ruling be heard!
Who is it? What is this interruption? What does he want? Get him out of here. We want blood. Blood.
Excuse me, but I'd like to interview the defendant.
And in case you're wondering why I did not skip all of those cutscenes even though we've seen them, I just do that in case somebody just wants to watch all Keats' chapters without watching Alan's chapters,
Oh yeah.
if they feel like it.
I gotta say, Keats certainly knows how to make a dramatic entrance.
I was thinking of putting like the music from the opening cutscene in Bayonetta. May do that towards the end of the video. I'll see how it turns out.
What's underneath hell?
And this time Alan gets zapped out of the existence.
Mm-hmm. Because time doesn't work the same way.
Exactly. Or rather, he can be at two places at the same time, like every other folklore.
Pretty much.
And it has been pretty much established that, well, folklores basically exist for different people. Like they outright said in the previous chapter that Keats has already defeated the folklore, and then Ellen had to defeat him herself.
Yeah. Well, time for this again.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty dicey towards the end.
But hey,
But
at least we have Fenimore.
Since we have Fenimore, yes. And he's a lot more. Well, he's well, Ellen's is like instant, but this one can actually combo.
Yeah.
Although in case of Keats, he doesn't even really need to use Fenimore, because even if he was using the troll, he's fast enough.
Right. Just goes to show the big beasties are pretty much the best.
Well, that and Puke and Hawk.
Yes. And
Piggly.
fiery buttfish.
Piggly, yes.
And gobbled.
Gobbled is like the godsend for Ellen.
Pretty much.
And here I was just trying
Behind
to...
you.
I knew where he was. It's just that I wanted to anticipate him teleporting somewhere else. It didn't
Nope.
work that way. You can try to avoid them, like when you're in the middle between them. Doesn't work out that way very well.
Good to know. I imagine
also-
you've died quite a few times that way.
Well, once. On this try once. With Ellen, a lot more times, yes. But the best way to guard against him is to actually, after he materializes, to take a couple steps away from him and then start guarding, because otherwise he will just phase inside of you and then actually attack.
What a
It's
cheap
kind
bitch.
of, it's odd. Like this.
Yeah.
And now you can see Keats' reflection. I need to chase that sexy.
Wait, I need to see if my hat's on right.
I ain't got that costume to knuckle it right at all times.
Right. Paid good money for it. Mm-hmm. How
But
the real
yeah.
fight begins.
Yeah, as with Alan, he takes away all of my magic, but in case of Keats, this isn't so much of a problem because he's going to recover it like that in an
Yep.
instant.
Keats gets all the toys.
And now fiery buttfish.
Yes.
Huh.
If only you had the Kraken, but like with fire instead.
I believe maybe in one of the next Netherworlds something like that exists.
Sweet.
Although in this situation it wouldn't really be all that great. Because his attacks are kind of hard to predict where they're going to land. And also, Kraken is good if you can keep stun locking your enemy, but not good if the enemy actually like moves around and actively throws shit at you. Because
Right.
when you start using Kraken, you cannot cancel him very easily. Well, yeah, boomerang. This is what you get for liking Inferno Cup.
Pretty much. Inferno Cop is a great show.
It is the greatest, absolutely no budget show.
Pretty much.
I love how they even put the detail of him opening one of his 4 eyes in order to shoot those green laser balls.
Yeah. Paid attention to detail.
Yeah, a lot. Especially, like, there are a few FMVs, but they really show off, like, the advantages of it being in higher resolution compared to what people were used to at this point in time with the PS2.
Yeah. You gonna die,
Because-
son?
Because there's just so much color in them that YouTube cannot encode any of them correctly, and also like all of those particle effects. Like in every single FMV there is in the game, you'll see like millions of particles of dust floating around everywhere. On the PS2, that would just look like you're having a faulty cable.
Or they could do like Tales of Innocence and just put spots all over the screen.
Spots all over the screen, that's just limited color space.
Yes.
Which the PS2 also had for pretty much every game. Few exceptions. Like, they mostly use the exact same color space as the Nintendo 64 and Sega Saturn used. PS1 used even lower color space, actually.
Lord.
Like, they had the 16-bit color space in PS2, Saturn, and Nintendo 64. PS1 had a very unique color space because it used 15-bit one in order to have the 3D graphics working. She looks adorable.
You cold,
Like-
Ellen?
She looks adorable in this costume. Whereas her French girl costume is not so good, doesn't fit her at all. This one's pretty perfect.
Yeah. So in other words, Keats can't enter the Netherworld core.
Well, haven't had too much trouble already.
Well, he hasn't exactly faced his own suffering, so...
Hmm.
Ah.
Remember this scene?
Yeah, so from Keats' perspective, she's just kind of friggin' out.
Yes. Nobody was actually accusing her. It was her own consciousness.
Huh. It just kind of hit her like a truck.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hello. The face of it.
Wonderful, isn't it? Say what? See, atop the ash tree and light the stars. Yes, this is exactly what Charlotte the atheist was singing.
Fucking Charlotte knows everything.
Like, Charlotte should be like a hint person.
Charlotte
game.
is Plank.
Exactly. So yeah, we end up in Gomez's house.
And we can't go back to Hellrealm. Well, it's daytime, so...
No. It's quite fortunate that nobody's walking around in the night outside, and nobody's checking their house. Although I'm pretty damn certain that they just can't see them, because they purposely put every entry to every netherworld in a different place for both characters. So it's pretty obvious that it's only to each one of them.
I'm not telling you anything. Later.
Later's gotta ask my bestie Charlotte about what to do next.
Oh, wise and great Charlotte, please guide us.
Please guide us through those darkest times. The curtain of time atop the ash tree.
Charlotte, what the fuck is your deal?
This is a treat because on my first run I never talked to people, so I didn't know that Charlotte was such a demon spawn.
She's the littlest atheist. She's the fucking Lord of Hell. Like, what the fuck?
She hangs out in hell. This is... We're friends.
And now
And
fucking the landlord's getting all philosophical on us. Jesus.
Well, I mean, this actually makes sense, all things considered. We had that side quest about him discovering the meaning of death.
Yeah.
So yeah, 2 new side quests from the DLC. Both of them are actually quite interesting. There were some more things during the night, so I just did all of the side quests now because there really isn't going to be any further point in this chapter.
Mm.
And all of the conversations, if I remember correctly, I just included in the
Side quests.
yeah, during the side quest. Here I was kind of wondering, now the fuck was I supposed to do, because there was a whole bunch of side quests, so I just forgot. But thankfully there is a hint whenever you go into the map. Yes.
You're gonna have to sacrifice Cecilia at the end.
I almost completely forgot that there was a hint system in this game in form of the map, because you never use the map. The locations are super straightforward.
Sacrifice family photo.
Portrait. The portrait of Alan that we found underneath the ruins. But now, we have to use the silver medallion that we used before. Because, well, that is its function. It allowed Ellen to do that before, remember?
Mm-hmm.
Keats never really needed to... No, he did actually need to do that.
To get in the henge that was in the netherworld.
Yes. Rather, no. He also went in...
What the fuck are you doing here? Oh, if you say so.
I say it was Charlotte.
She's the true evil behind this entire game.
Mm-hmm. Well, she knows everything. She's
Right.
always one step ahead of us.
I know, right? Turns out she's a messenger. She's done the whole plot already.
Yeah, she's on New Game Plus now.
Yep.
With all of the folks already intact. All karma releases.
Mm-hmm. And she can summon all of them at once because she has unlimited MP.
She can also summon the Folklores themselves.
Jesus Christ.
Just summons the Bulbasaur from the first boss fight. And just crushes everyone like that.
Don't fuck with Charlotte, man. She'll fucking destroy you. Maybe the hag is what took Ellen's blood. And she weirdly looked similar to Levane. Strange.
Well, it definitely was a woman.
Mm-hmm. Like I said when we first saw her, I have my own idea on who she is.
Hmm.
Although it's probably not going to be a thing, considering our recent revelations.
So yeah, that explains why how Charlotte would actually know it, outside of being a demon spawn.
That said, she totally knew it just because she was a demon spawn. She didn't learn it that way. Hello. Fucking cheese! God damn it.